So in this video, I want to take you through my 2 years transformation of how I basically went from a fat kid who was addicted to video games to a pretty decent level of physique in, to be accurate, 25 and a half months. Because when I first started training, it was at the end of December 2024. And back then I had already lost about 5 or 6 kilograms of excessive weight from my body and decided to take it to the next level. And so in this video, I would like to share with you my journey and probably some of the lessons that I've learned so that you can utilize this and hopefully take some inspiration from this one. If it happens to be that I'm a few steps above you in a fitness journey. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. So back in 2020, I used to be, not to say too aggressively, but I was fat. And this is probably the worst picture of me that was ever taken. Back then, at 14 years old, I used to weigh about 69 kg or something like that. This is not a picture of me when I was 16, but this is important for the context because I think that this is a very good description of how my life used to look like for basically 5 or 6 years. And unfortunately at that time, even though I understood that earlier or later I will be in shape, I don't know, I just always had that kind of mindset and kind of belief in the fact that I'm going to lose weight eventually, but I didn't take any pictures. And a fun fact is that my birthday is on July 19th and around that same period I went to the doctor and was informed that if I don't change my lifestyle, if I don't quit sugar and if I don't take my diet and body seriously, I might end up having diabetes. Honestly, that scared a shit out of me and I quit sugar for probably like 2 months. So basically I was even scared of drinking, you know, like fresh juice, like I didn't eat any fruits, anything. But then the time went on and I kind of forgot about it, and so things slipped back into normal. And this is a picture of me at 16 years old. Probably, you know, grew up a little bit and not as fat as used to be before. At least you don't see it on this picture. By that time I started to have this mindset again of the fact that I really have to do something about my body because I was kind of, you know, hanging out with the guys and there were some girls and I was in this cool friend group and it wasn't, you know, I just felt sort of uncomfortable inside of my own skin because I didn't have the confidence and I just didn't know how to talk to girls beyond being, you know, just a friend and stuff like that. And so that was also one of the reasons that pushed me. But basically I was just really unhappy about my life, and a few months later when I moved to a new city, to a new country, I realized that I had nothing basically left to do but to take my fitness, my body seriously. And so that's what I started to do. So these are the picture of me at the end of 2022. As you can see, I'm trying to flex my triceps because I've been doing, you know, those tricep extensions or push-ups, however you call them, on the edge of my bed at 10 p.m. at night. And back then I used to be very proud of those 2 pictures because for me to go from a kid who used to weigh above 80 kilograms to about 73 at that point, I was probably something like that. Honestly, probably a little bit more, but in any case, I lost a good chunk of fat in just, you know, a couple of months, and I was really proud of that. And I started seeing some muscles on my body for the first time in my life. Like I've literally, believe it or not, I've never ever have done any type of sports in my life except, you know, I used to go out and play football with the guys and, you know, the basketball and just those kinds of activities as I was a kid. I used to cycle a lot, but it doesn't really count because I'm talking in terms of that I never really attended any group activities, training or anything like that. I was always, you know, playing every now and then, but I didn't really take any sport seriously. And after those pictures, a few weeks went by and I finally decided to get into the gym. The process of me between the decision of going there and actually going there and buying the membership, it probably took like 2 weeks or something because I just couldn't help myself. I had social anxiety and I just didn't know how do I even go there and buy a membership. But finally I, you know, picked myself up and decided that if I'm not gonna do it, nobody's gonna do it for me. And so I went on and bought the membership, started going to the gym. It was very, very scary. I've never again trained ever before in my life. But what kept me going is that I started to see results, you know, quite fast. This is a picture of me probably like 2 to 3 months in, and you know, you can already see, you know, some muscle development and there's not as much fat on my belly as there used to be before, but still probably you wouldn't say that I go to the gym if I was just walking around in a t-shirt. But I was really happy and I used to be really obsessed. Like I trained 6, not even 6, like 7 times a week. Probably I had 1 rest day per month for like 6 months straight. So I don't know, I just couldn't skip the gym. I used to train legs for 5 hours straight. I used to train arms, so I would spend for 3 hours minimum every single day in the gym. It sounds crazy, but I really enjoyed it. I used to, you know, be kind of a junkie back then. I basically had 3 periods of my fitness journey. In period 1, I used to be, you know, this junkie. I used to drink energy drinks every single day before the gym and, you know, eat some pizzas and burgers before and after the gym, you know, just trying to eat as much food as I can to get as much protein as I can. The protein bars, shakes, and, you know, chicken and rice obviously too, but just was eating everything that I saw. And that lasted for about a year. So basically from the beginning of 2023 to 2024. And then probably in spring last year, I had some, this big realization where I realized that this is not the way things should be. And I kind of, got deep into self-improvement, like a lot deeper. And from April to May, probably about a month or something, I was on a carnivore diet. So basically had no carbs in my diet, no sugar, anything, and wasn't really making any progress, but we'll get to that later on. The point I'm trying to make is that those two phases that were before the third, because like now I consider myself to be in a new phase because I kind of realized the importance of making progress in the gym, and I kind of got back into it. I pulled my focus back into the gym. Basically, I went on a high carb diet. I tried to fast whenever I have to, this big task that I have to complete before 11 or 12 a.m. But I'm not doing that every single day, just when I need to, because I was on a carnivore diet and I realized how powerful my brain can be when I don't have any type of food inside of me. And so intermittent fasting is still a great tool that I'm using, but basically now I'm focusing on gaining more muscle. Again, this is just for the context, we'll get to that later on. Let's continue with the photos of my progress. So skipping a little bit forward, this was closer to summer 2023, and this is probably the first, as I would consider back then, cool photo of me. So basically it's, a little bit blurry and I'm standing there, trying to show some basics of my abs, and there's a tricep. So basically I really love this photo. And it was, I showed it to everyone I could, and I was really proud of the progress that I made. And that whole summer probably was the leanest version of myself. So my weight was at about 70 kg max. So I was really small, but I was very lean, and that was something that I was proud of. I stopped eating enough protein, enough calories, and I was just trying to stay lean because I had this anxiety of getting fat again. And that basically continued on until winter 2023. And then I got bulky again. But unfortunately back then I didn't really think about the junk food and how bad it is for you. I just wanted to gain muscle. And as you can see, compared to the summer picture, this picture is like I'm looking way bigger. So fast forward to spring last year, spring 2024. This is probably the worst points of how I felt when I went to the gym. Like I never had this kind of unwillingness to train. Like not that I wasn't willing to put in the work, I just couldn't because I had no strength whatsoever. I was trying to train as hard as I could, and I used to just eat, chicken, eggs, cheese, cottage cheese, and I didn't get enough protein from that, and I just couldn't eat it. But my work rate was good, like, I was very productive back then, but again, my physique looked like shit. Now fast forward to September that same year, I started to look a little bit better. I started to have some carbs at least in my diet because I figured that it's not gonna work if I'm not gonna have them, but still nowhere near enough. And basically this is the best picture of that period. I look lean, I look like I have a pretty decent, this picture is good. I would even consider great in this picture. And so fast forward, these are the pictures of me basically right now in this period of my life. Some of them were taken a couple of weeks ago and some of them were taken a couple of days ago. And this is important to understand because of the reason that I'm gonna share. Basically, that's the whole journey so far. And so these pictures really show what can happen in just 2 years if you really put in the work and stay consistent. Even though in 2024, I didn't basically make as much progress as I should have. And the reason why it was important to say that those pictures were taken 2 weeks ago and a couple of days ago is because in the last probably 3 weeks, I made more progress than in the last 6 months. It sounds crazy, but that's true, and there are a lot of factors to that, such as diet, sleep, recovery, and a huge change in my mindset. It's I'm sure that this is a new era and a new stage in my life in terms of fitness, and next few months will be big. I have very decent goals in terms of my physique for this year, and I've made good progress so far in the last months. And yeah, I'm gonna make sure to update you on everything that changes and basically planning to make the same type of video in a year from now. So if you watched until this moment, then I just want to say thank you, and make sure to go and check out my free email newsletter where every single week I send out 1 or maximum 2 emails, which are going to take you to read probably like 2 to 3 minutes, not more, I promise. Trying to give some inspiration and guidance on the thing that I've learned myself. I'm pretty sure that you're going to find it valuable, and if you don't, then you can just unsubscribe. It's free anyways. And also, if you feel like you've been struggling to make progress in your own fitness journey, then you can go down to the description and schedule a free call with me where we can see if we're going to be a good fit for one another and if I actually can help you with personal one-on-one coaching and complete guidance on how you can get in shape and change your life. And with all that being said, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and take care.